say what you want, call it how you want, but this Schulz joke stuff, Andrew Schulz joke stuff. If y'all don't know about Andrew Schulz and the joke that he did about black women and everything that kind of got all of this stuff started, he did a podcast. It was some people from the UK, Poops and Gigs, because you can't say the real, try not to curse. But yeah, they did a guest spot on there, and they talked about the glow up of black women or whatever that effect, and then Andrew Schulz reacted with a joke that people took offensive.
The black girlfriend effect.
This you don't know about it.
Glow up the other culture.
Yeah, so you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend. All of a sudden, he's got buzz cut, clean shape up.
Glows up, bro.
I like that. They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed being around this black girl complaining about shit all the fucking time. That's why they gotta shave their hair.
Nah, bro. White guys with black girlfriends, they
grow a beard
because
there's more cushion when they get slapped the fuck out of.
So those was like the two jokes that he made, and it was when I first saw, and I was a fan of Andrew Schulz. I'm like, I ain't gonna have no shame about it. Pay for the Patreon, you know what I'm saying? I watched the podcast, been a fan like for years and stuff. But when I it was really, I ain't gonna lie, the MAGA stuff that kind of really started turning me off. But when I seen that one in particular, it was just one of those that was like, I know the attempt to be funny and everything is what it is, so I don't want to go against that as a comedian, but I would be remiss to not say that it felt like when the whole spark of that rebuttal came from the idea of it couldn't be possible that a black woman could upgrade a white man. The tone of that just felt that way for me. Well, no matter the joke you was making, the initial reaction, the way you looked, the way you was like, the even thought of it, you were flabbergasted at the thought of a black woman improving a white man. And that's the tone of it. Even if you didn't mean that and didn't get that, you have to understand, even after the fact, that may be the tone. And that's part of the tone deafness that come from, I guess, white comedians or whatever, or when you choose to side with that type of comedy and do that type of comedy, that's the line that you walk as a white guy, I guess, if you choose to care. Because sometimes you don't care and you could do whatever you want and it could be just as successful. So it's just different ways to analyze all of this, and comedy is comedy, jokes is jokes, I feel you. But sometimes when those jokes don't hit, you have to be able to say, I can see how you feel that way and move on. You don't necessarily got to apologize. I can see how you feel that way. I didn't mean it like that, but, and then move on or whatever and keep it moving. Hey, y'all know that was just a joke. I didn't really mean that. I rock with, black people, all of that, whatever. So whatever you want to say. You don't have to necessarily say the words, I'm sorry, or I apologize, to come off with some type of understanding. I think the part that in this argument that people having with the clash that people having with this, that black people is seeing, is you not understanding the one, nobody really wanting Schulz to like apologize or, hey, I'm not expecting nothing from you. Because Kendrick really didn't even say you or nothing to you. He was talking to the black people around you. So more people are mad that, Charlamagne ain't saying nothing. More people are mad that, Alex ain't saying nothing. The black dude that's sitting next to him, not at least educating them on why he's wrong about stuff he's saying. Why it's wrong to say when Ice Cube's son come and say, I used to be a fan, and then you reply to Ice Cube's son with Google no Vaseline. Because you think no Vaseline is about butt, but it's not. It's about how the contracts was messed up, but you don't know that because you're not a part of hip-hop.
I'm going to say this, though. I ain't want to cut you off.
No,
I'm definitely going to give you the
floor.
Anyway.
As
a comedian, I'm definitely giving you the floor on one of these type of topics. But what I'll say about this, about the actual thing he said in that clip, I'm gonna give him some rope, right? I'm gonna give him some rope to catch, because I always say this about white comedians. I feel like if he was in a room full of white people and he say that joke, they all laugh, they all have a good ha. I don't think most white comedians would say that in a room full of black people. So he was in a room full of black people. He still said that joke. So I'm gonna give you credit for that because I feel like as a comedian, you got to be willing to put yourself in some uncomfortable situations to get the joke off. So that could have got real uncomfortable, bro. So I'm gonna give you credit for at least having the balls to put that joke out there in front of that audience. Now, what I'm gonna say is to the point you just made. What I don't like about that joke, it wasn't even the fact that it wasn't like they couldn't upgrade a white man. It made it, you fought into the stereotype that black women are these stressful creatures that if you deal with them, your hair gonna fall out and you're gonna be, bro, it's black women who is not like that. You know what I'm saying? It is black women who are very calm, who are very loving, who are very feminine. It's all kind of different types of black women. And you ran into the stereotype of the black woman. And like you said, reacting to something that really didn't have nothing to do with you in the first place. That's the part of it I don't like. You went right into a stereotypical expression of what you think a relationship is with a black woman, and you was trying to get the laugh off of that. We do that as black comedians enough, bro. We don't need you to come over here and do that. You can get another joke off, and I'll be cool with it. I'm gonna give you credit for doing it in both, set. Because I'm the kind of person that I'm not sensitive towards like race jokes.
Yeah,
I joke about everybody. If you're white, yellow, green, red, black. Hey, I joke about a black person. I joke about anybody. So I'm not gonna be like super sensitive to it. But the same token, like, I didn't like that. I didn't like that being the way you wanted to go about your joke.
It's one of the. It's like I say, I stand on the side of comedy. Try to joke, shoot for the joke. However, if it don't land, if it's a bad joke, whatever, go for the joke. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is when the joke don't hit or the joke don't land or the joke does whatever it does and it offend whoever. It's not, especially in my opinion, it's not your place to come in and just double down on it. And just because it seems in a way where it seems to be anti, you didn't write any more like clever jokes about it. You just kind of stood on it in the vein of I'm not apologizing or whatever, when you could have just not apologized and left it alone. Now it doesn't come to like I'm just joking. Now it's like I feel this way and I argue. Plus, I'm missing a lot of the other nuances. The stuff about like the stuff he's saying about hip hop. You come in that when we shifted. If we shifted to the Kendrick stuff.
I just want to respond to that real quick. Hey, Jim and Chef, I agree, bro. Stereotypes are hilarious. I don't have a problem. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't feel like he shouldn't have did the joke. If you would do the joke in this room, you got to at least try it in this room. You know what I'm saying? Now, whether I like the joke or not, I'm one person. I would never tell the comedian. Craig will tell y'all this. How many times have I told you, Craig, take the gloves off, bro. Talk your ish. And Craig would be like, yeah, but I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? And I'd be like, bro, go for it. Because we older, bro. We come from a different era of comics. Like, our comedians was wild. So, like, I'm with attempting the joke, the stereotypical. I'm with all that, bro. It don't mean, like he said, they don't always land. It's just like music.
You know what?
It might not always land.
This is one of the things I don't really want to argue with people about because it's one of those things that I don't expect people to get unless you get. Mm-hmm. So it's no point in even understanding it because I see what's wild is I can understand why you see the world from an equal, even angle. And it's hard for you to see why the world isn't equal and even. But trust me, it's not. And I don't have time to argue with you about that. So it is what it is. What I'm saying is when you double down on that, it doesn't go from the jokes now. Now it goes to you might really feel this way and you might really think that is true. Because you're right, stereotypes are funny. They really are. But sometimes they not true. And if you laughing at them, that's cool. If you arguing them, that's different. And it's a wild difference, a very thin line between joking and arguing them. And a lot of people not going to see when the shift goes to you arguing them because they still laughing because the stereotypes are funny. So I'll just leave it at that.
You cooked, right?
I'll just leave it at that.
Craig is out here being a line chef. You out here cooking, bro.
I'm not even going to get into the other point where I wanted to ask about how do you check your white friend when his ego does clash with the black culture? Like, how do you even sit to him? How do you even talk to him, not in front of nobody, whatever, and just tell him, like, hey, this is why people feel the way about what you're saying. Now that you know that information, how do you feel about what you're saying? Because if you don't care still, that will tell me a lot too. But now that you have, because I can't blame you for being ignorant, but once I tell you the info, you can only accept it or not accept it.
Call me a weirdo, right? If you my homie and you one of my white homies, right? I got a brother. He white. He like my bro. I was best man in his wedding. He's like my brother, right? It's times bro done said something out the way, right? And I have to be like, bro. And he don't know, like, bro don't, I know bro, you know what I'm saying? But at respect to my bro, in case you ever see this, bro, I could just be one of the good ones. I say that respectfully. What I'm saying is, of course he gonna have a certain vision. I'm black and I can see a certain kind of person and my antenna go up, bro. I can see a white person, a certain kind of white person, antenna go up. Certain kind of Hispanic person, antenna go up. So that doesn't mean anything to me. If you say you see a black guy in nighttime with a dark hoodie on and you kind of antenna go up, that's cool, bro. Everybody antenna go up.
For real. Same way that if I'm see some white kids in the trench coat, I'm gonna be a little alarmed.
Antenna going up, bro.
Jim, I'll answer your question. Jim asks, so when does comedy turn into an argument? If I sit here and make a joke about kids with disabilities, any of that, and I'm going in, and then Quis decides to feel away and say, hey, this bothers me, and I start to argue with him about why it's okay for me to disparage and talk about that, and when that's when it becomes an argument instead of me just saying, oh, man, my bad, I was just joking, because the jokes mean nothing, right? My bad, I was just joking. I don't have to joke about that. I don't have to say that again. That's when it becomes an argument. Anyways, though.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, well.
And my bad to use you as that, but you was the closest to me. My bad.
Nah, it was cooking. I was gonna say something about my white brother, but I don't remember what it was now. Well, Craig's got that. Hey, you cook. Ain't nothing to add to it. I mean, cool.
Yeah.
On to the next one.